So the symptoms, I can summarize it in a mnemonic called sticky caps, and I'll go over every one of them. So first, S is for sadness. That's what you all know about depression, just patients feel depressed, mood, and sad. I is for interest. This is when patients lose their interest and hobbies that they used to be interested in. So they could love basketball or driving a car in the past, and they're just not interested anymore. G is for guilt. Patients tend to feel excessive remorse or guilt about things that happened in the past. And in older patients, this tend to manifest as a feeling of worthlessness. E is for energy. Patients with depression tend to feel tired, fatigued all the time, and just in general lack of energy. C is for concentration. Patients tend to have problem concentrating, and they also have problem making decisions. A is for appetite. So depressed patients can either have increased appetite or decreased appetite, and this could lead to either weight gain or weight loss. P is for psychomotor. It basically just means the movements of patients. So they can either have very fast movement in a very agitated state, or they can have a very slowed movement. S is for sleep. Patients with depression tend to either sleep more or sleep less. And if they do sleep less, they tend to wake up very early in the morning, such as 3 a.m. And this is to contrast with patients who have insomnia, who tend to have problem falling asleep. And finally, the last S is for suicide. So patients with depression tend to have thoughts of suicide, or they're preoccupied with the idea of suicide. So just to summarize, to be diagnosed with a depressive episode, patients need to have 5 of the symptoms that I've mentioned, and they all have to last for more than 2 weeks. And I just want to point out that not all symptoms are as obvious as sadness. Patients could be sleeping more or eat less, and these could all be a manifestation of depression. If you or your friends have any of these symptoms, definitely go to see a doctor and get help.
If your friend mentions suicide or self-harm, take them seriously. If you believe that they're in danger, call 911 or the Poison Control Center immediately. Your friend's life is more important than their privacy. Wellcasters. Have you ever had someone just want to end it all? Permanently? It's never easy to think about or hear. Yes, life can get so complicated and overwhelming, it's hard to even imagine that things would ever get better again. But most people bounce back. Unfortunately, some don't. Suicide is a tragedy that affects everyone, and it's one of the leading causes of death for people 24 and younger. Here's what to do if you suspect a friend might be having thoughts of suicide. Tip 1. Learn to recognize dangerous signs. Has your friend talked about feeling hopeless or anxious? Have you noticed a change in your friend's behavior, acting withdrawn, sleeping less, sleeping a lot more? Maybe they're abusing alcohol or drugs, giving away their belongings. Maybe your friend has even talked about hurting themselves, or worse, wanting to die. For a complete checklist of suspect behaviors, pause and print out our worksheet.